Stampers, my name is Verna Mullen. I'm coming to you today from stampinnotes.com. I have a really cute card to share with you. It is a Valentine's Day card. It says, "From my heart to yours." And what I love about this card is the shine on it with the copper foil. The paper I'm using is a Parisian Blossoms Special Designer Series paper. It's beautiful, and it's called Specialty Designer Series paper because of the foil that's used on it. Maybe you have seen this already. This is part of the piece we're using today. It's beautiful double-sided paper. It's from the spring catalog. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't have the stamp set, but there are stamp sets and dies that go with it. And I love this. The cherry blossoms with the gold in it. Anyways, I've used the copper foil with this card. I like the rosy color of the copper with the pink. And so we untie it like this. And you untie it like this, and it opens like that. Happy Valentine's Day. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, the thick Whisper White cardstock. You're going to score it at 4 1/4 inches on the 8 1/2 inch side and 5 1/2 inches on the 11 inch side. And then after you score that, you're going to cut it on the diagonal in half from this corner straight through your center mark right up to this corner. So it looks like this. Here it is, the other piece with it. And I've cut straight through that. So you end up with a piece of cardstock, 2 triangles, and you have a square. And we're going to fold this triangle down like so, and fold this one in like this. So this is what we have. This is our diagonal fold. The other paper you're going to need in addition to this piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, for these layers here, you're going to need a piece of Designer Series paper. The top layer is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. The copper foil layer is 5 by 3 3/4, 5 by 3 3/4. And then the petal pink cardstock is 5 1/4 by 4. And with each of these, you're going to cut them on the diagonal. You have triangles like this. You've got the Designer Series paper, the copper foil, and the cardstock. And what we're going to do is layer these on top of each other. And we'll get to that in a minute. So you need your thick Whisper White cardstock and 3 layering pieces, and I've given you the measurements for them. In addition to that, for the inside, you will need a piece of petal pink that's 5 1/4 by 4, and a piece of Whisper White to stamp on that's 5 by 3 3/4. You will need a scrap piece of white for your heart layer here, and we're going to punch this copper piece of the heart out with our scalloped heart punch. You will also need scrap white for your leaves and copper foil for your flower petals. We're using the Blossom Punch for that. And that is in the annual catalog. I'm sorry, it's called the Perennial Flower Punch. And that is on page 188 in the annual catalog, Stampin' Up! Catalog. And you're also going to need the Leaf Punch that's on page 187. And that's up here. I also used the heart punches that are in the spring mini catalog. You can save 10% if you buy them in a bundle with this stamp set here called Heartfelt. And we're also using the sentiments from that. If you don't have a catalog and you need a catalog, annual catalog or the spring mini catalog and the celebration catalog, contact me. I would love to send you one. If you don't have a demonstrator already, I'd be glad to send them to you. The other thing we're going to use for the center, this little center in this flower, is the Blossom Punch, and that's free with a $50 order from the spring catalog or the annual catalog, and that lasts until March 31st. First thing we're going to do is make our layers to go on our flaps here. And I have already created the top layer that's going to sit here like this. Now, when you are cutting your rectangles, I have to hold the paper up before I cut it to make sure I've got it going the right side going the right way for the front of my card. And when you do this, you will see what I mean. I cut some of this and it wouldn't fit because I had cut it the wrong way. You could flip the card and fold it this way and then it would fit if you wanted it to open like this instead. So, but I'm going to have this card go like this. We'll go ahead and use the glue. I like the multi-purpose glue because you can move it around a little bit. It is really sticky, but you do have time to move it around a little bit before it just won't budge. So this is going to go here on our top layer like that. And that looks pretty straight. I'm going to slide that just a little bit and over just a little. Now, I've got the 3 pieces for the bottom layer, and before I adhere them all together, I'm going to punch out my scalloped heart from this piece so I don't have to punch or cut into another piece of foil because foil is expensive. So we're just going to set it in here like this. I think that's about right. We've got our heart for the outside. We're left with this, and that won't even show. And once we get this adhered onto the card, this piece is going to go over that. It's a sunshiny day in Western New York today. No precip, but not that we maybe couldn't be getting some soon. Okay. All right. And now this is going to go on here. And I just love the copper with the pink colors because it just has that rosy kind of glow to it. All right, so there's what we have so far. I'm going to bring in this little piercing mat to do my stamping on. Just with photopolymer stamps, it works a little better. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the heart for the front, and I'm using Petal Pink ink. I'm going to put it this way. I did stamp off with another card because I didn't want it too dark, but really this is so light that the sentiment we're going to put over it will still show. And I'm lining, oops, I wanted just the regular heart punch, not the scallop one. Okay, that looks about right. And then on that, I'm going to stamp the sentiment says, from my heart to yours. And this also is from the Heartfelt stamp set, which is in the spring catalog. Really cute stamp set. From my heart to yours. Hopefully I can't see good. I hope that stamps well. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we have that, like so. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that to pop it up a little bit from the base. I love dimensionals. They just give enough, a little bit of a 3D effect. One stuck to my thumb. And then this is gonna go on the scallop heart. There. Isn't that pretty? Now, as you can see on this card, we've got the ribbon going through, and you want to put this heart up far enough and this flower down as low as you can so that the ribbon can go underneath like this. Oops, not like that. The ribbon can go underneath like this and under that, and then tie at the side. You could make the card without the ribbon. I just like that it holds it together better with the ribbon. I love this ribbon, and it's petal pink in color, and we'll get back to that in a few minutes. So we've got our heart done, and I'm gonna wait a minute before I put it on the front of the card. Let's stamp the inside of our card. We're gonna use this Happy Valentine's Day stamp, and that also is from the Heartfelt stamp set. I'm using my piercing mat again, just because with the photopolymers you will get a better image if you have a mat underneath. If I were doing a lot of these, I would use a Stamparatus just to make sure my image comes out okay, and that came out fine. All right, and now for some glue, and we'll get this on our card base. Like so. Here's the card base. Okay. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the inside of my card. And we'll put that about like that. Okay. So we have all our stamping done, and we're ready to do the rest of the assembling to this card. So I will go ahead and put the heart on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it as far up as I can, and I'm only going to put glue on the back of this side of the heart to adhere it. So you'll see I'm just putting it like that much right there. Yep, that looks good. And we'll hold that down for a little bit. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to make the flower. And this is the flower. I'm going to punch out 3 different sets of petals with a perennial flower punch. I'm bringing in my copper foil. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now on the card that I already have done, I put it together with glue, and the glue worked okay, but you had to wait longer for it to dry. So I'm going to use glue dots, I think it's just, it works better and you don't have to worry about moving the petals around and they're not dry. And I'm just bending these leaves a little bit to look more realistic, give it a little dimension. The other thing I'm going to do is punch out the little center with my blossom punch. And I'm also going to bend these a little bit, like that. I got my take a pick tool. There's a glue dot. I'm going to use two glue dots because the foil is a little heavier than regular paper. And I'm going to center that but offset the petals. So about, oops, excuse me, about like that. I need 2 more glue dots here. And we'll offset this about like that. And give it another little bit of a bend. This a little bit of a bend. I'm going to put one of these here for this little center. There, isn't that pretty? Cute. Now the centers, the catalog Stampin' Up! Sells these perennial essence floral centers, and they look like the center of a real flower, and then they have a little sticky backing on them. And if I can hold it, I'll remove the sticky backing. And then we'll set this right in the center of our little flower. Isn't that darling? We're almost done with the flower. We just have to add leaves. And to do that, this is the leaf punch right here. I can get 2 more sets of leaves out of this. There's one. There's another one. Here they are. Okay. I might have to roll that up just a little bit. And one more for this leaf. And I'm kind of putting them on direct opposite ends, as you can see on this card. It hangs, one leaf hangs down over that flap. And I'm going to, so I want it as low on that as I can set it without it hanging over the edges too far. So I think that's about right there. I'm going to use a dimensional to put that on there. I think it was right about there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Now you could leave the card like that. Other than, I'm going to add some rhinestones here. Why don't we do that right now? They're so pretty. They are champagne, which goes nicely. Champagne color, which goes nicely with our colors we have in this card. So these are the champagne rhinestones, basic jewels. Using my take a pick tool to put them over there, like so. I sometimes am lazy and use my fingers, but then I'm more apt to drop them. There we've got the 2 rhinestones. So for the ribbon, I have one piece that is about 20 inches and one piece that was about, I think, 18, and you'll end up cutting, if you make this, you'll end up cutting some of it off. So we're going to turn this around to the back, and here's our ribbon. This is the pink organdy striped ribbon, and I want the longer one to come around this side of the card. So this is a longer piece. And what I'm going to do, and you want it about 2/3 of the way up, so about like that. First, I'm going to anchor it down with some tape, like that. And then we want our other piece to be about the same place, but on the other side. I'm just going to anchor that with a piece of tape. And to really hold it good, I'm going to bring in our tear and tape. And just put a piece over that. And a piece over the other one, like so. That tear and tape's good stuff. That's our strongest adhesive. And it works good. All right, we're going to put a back on the card to cover this, and this is our back, and I'm going to glue that. And just layer it on like this. Okay. And then the other thing that I did was I took a piece of the cardstock and I just punched out a scalloped heart and put on the back and the center. It just looked kind of cute. You don't have to do that at all. I love the little scalloped edge. It reminds me of sugar cookies my mom used to make for us at Valentine's Day. They had a kind of that kind of edge to them. And they were so pretty with their white frosting. I think that looks centered. Let's turn this over. So, oh, it's so pretty. I just love the colors in this. So we're bringing this one across, and like so. And we want our bow, we want it to be pretty tight to hold it in place. All right, I want my bow way over to the side because I don't want it bending this leaf. So I'm going to try to do these on the outside edge of the card, the loops. And there we go. I will trim some of that ribbon off there, so we don't need quite that much ribbon hanging. I love this ribbon. Now, isn't that a beautiful card? If you'd like to order the supplies for this card or see the written instructions, visit my little shop at stampinnotes.com. Thanks for stopping by.